Our very special guest this morning, Dana Meyer, is the Director of Charitable Giving for Brittany's Hope. Dana, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing real well. How are things at Brittany's Hope?
Brittany's Hope is doing great. We are nearing our 25th anniversary of serving orphan and at-risk children, and it's amazing just to see the progress that we've made.
Well, that's great. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to this morning?
Absolutely. Mylan Saad, our executive director, she's getting her two little kids off to school, and I just remember those days. I kind of miss them, and I'd also like to say hi to my son who's driving to work, which is like just crazy. It seems like a blink ago.
That's right. Is that the one that was born in 2000?
No, that's a different one.
Okay,
but,
different song. Different song. Couple songs. That's great.
No problem.
I love it. Okay, for those who don't know, can you explain what Brittany's Hope is? What do you guys do?
Absolutely. So Brittany's Hope, as I said, serves orphan and at-risk children, and we do that two ways primarily. By providing adoption grants for people with the heart to adopt children with special needs, which is a huge undertaking, and it's a tremendous service. And then we also provide humanitarian support to our partner children's homes in Vietnam, Kenya, and Ethiopia.
So are there any good stories that sort of encapsulate what you do so that people can get a better understanding?
Sure, 100%. So I know we've talked about adoption a lot, and it's so important, and we have many local families, which is tremendous. One thing that we've been doing, and we have our children's homes in Vietnam, and there's like constantly an influx of children, and we're really looking at it from a community standpoint now, which has been very eye-opening, and it's initially, at least I thought, people would put their kids in an orphanage if they didn't want their kids. And that is so far from the truth. It's really people with just really good hearts who are thinking, like, what is the best way I can provide the best life possible for my children? And they feel inadequate because they don't have a house or they can't get them to school. So we started looking at that from a more global standpoint and realized, hey, you know what? We can build houses for some people. And it's $7,000 in Vietnam to build a house for a family.
Is that all?
Right. And then like economically, just from like a number standpoint, which is there's so much more than numbers, but it's like $1,500 to care for a kid for 1 year. So we really vet the families, and you look at the families just with really good hearts who have every intention of wanting to care for their kids so much. So it's just been a wonderful situation. We just built one for one family. This man was taking care of his 8 kids, and he couldn't be happier. He's just, the community rallies around him, and it has been a wonderful situation.
That's great. That's got to be a great motivator too.
100%.
Yeah. And one of the cool things that you guys do, and really a lot of these nonprofits, you put so much work into what you do, but you also put so much work into some events. You got a few events coming up. The first one, Extra Give, on November 22nd. Am I correct?
Right. Yes.
And what is that all about?
So that's One Day of Giving, and it's sponsored by the Lancaster County Community Foundation. It is just a day where a lot of nonprofits get together and everyone kind of competes in a way for to see who can get the most donors and everything. But it's just really easy opportunities. There's a lot of prizes. So the first nonprofit to get a bunch of donors at midnight, and it's a fun day, and it's an easy way to just really look at all the wonderful things that's happening in our community. And I would shout out Brittany's Hope, of course, as really being a wonderful place to support during that Extra Give.
That's really cool. And then the main event coming up is Christmas at the Star Barn, and that's happening Saturday, December 7th. Tell us what that includes.
It's a fantastic way. If you have little kids, grandchildren, it is a great way to start off the Christmas season. So it is breakfast with Santa, and then we have family pictures, like professional photographers, pony rides, a ton of crafts, and games, and it is just, we have a DJ, dance parties, princesses, and everything is donated. So it is just a whole community event, and it is donated at the highest level possible, I would say. Wow. So it is, so first of all, Food for Thought Catering is the caterer, donates everything. The Star Barn itself donates the location. And Mannheim Central's has a bunch of students from the Interact Club, and they come and they're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 5 a.m, and they are just ready to serve and ready to help. And it's just very heartwarming.
That's great.
So photographers, everyone's donating.
I understand that if people want to get tickets, they should get them now.
Do it today. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're selling fast.
Yeah, they are selling really fast.
Well,
so a lot of the breakfasts are sold out already.
Oh, wow.
But there's still great, some great seats left. And but I would encourage you to do it now.
So if folks want to learn more about what you guys do and about Christmas at the Starborn, where can they visit you?
Brittany'sHope.org.
Okay, Brittany'sHope.org. Visit them in the meantime. Get your tickets today. We've had the pleasure of speaking with Dana Myers, the Director of Charitable Giving for Brittany's Hope. Dana, hello again.
Hey, good morning.
How are things going at Brittany's Hope?
We're doing fantastic. Really, really busy. A lot of events coming up.
Oh, I'm sure.
And again, it's our 25th anniversary next year.
Wow.
So we're just looking back over all of the lives that our donors have helped us change.
Sure. For those who don't know, what is Brittany's Hope?
So Brittany's Hope aids orphan and at-risk children, and we do that in two primary ways. One is by providing grants for people with the heart to adopt children with special needs. And so we have over 1,700 children have come home to their forever families through that. Wow. Fantastic. And then the other way we do is by providing humanitarian support to our partner orphanages and children's homes in Vietnam, Kenya, and Ethiopia.
Okay, so we were talking a little bit, and it costs, what, $1,500 a month for childcare in places like Vietnam. Is that correct?
Right. Yes. So in a year.
Okay.
So $1,500 to care for a child for a year.
Gotcha.
And then, so if you have, and what we were talking about before is that sometimes we vet families, and if a family just has to send a child to an orphanage because they are homeless, which is huge, we can provide a home for $7,000.
Wow.
So a family has 4 kids, $1,500 a year. That's $6,000, a house for $7,000, and that's, for a lifetime.
Wow.
In addition to the love and support of the family, and then how proud and relieved the family feels because they can now care for their own kids. It's really wonderful.
So I've heard you mention orphanages, but then there's also childcare. Is that what you're calling it? Is there a difference between those two things?
Just the traditional way of thinking of an orphanage, we really try to transform that into children's homes.
Children's homes.
So that they have that exact family-like care and can excel in where they are. So, we can't do everything, but traditionally, at least the way I thought, and the way it really used to be, orphanages were almost like holding tanks for kids. And it was sad. Mylin, our executive director, lived in one. So she didn't come home until she was 9. She wasn't united with her forever family. She wasn't adopted until she was 9. And she really would have been like discharged to a life on the street. She wasn't educated. She wasn't playing outside. She didn't have a bed. She didn't have a dresser. It was just a place to house children.
Wow.
And now, and because of her foresight and her family's foresight, which is phenomenal, we have seen how they can become better by turning them more into that home-like atmosphere. And, every kid has a bed, and they're educated, and they're like really trying to start breaking that cycle of poverty and growing up in a loving atmosphere.
Wow. And they can get education to break that cycle of poverty.
Absolutely. So in addition to the undergraduate education, which every student does, the outcomes for the kids that we're serving, and we have sponsorships. So families are sponsoring a kid by paying a certain amount a month, which is fantastic. So our donors are sponsoring them, and we're able to provide, in addition to food and shelter, education. And we're noticing that the kids are excelling, and they're passing the very strict, stringent, I guess you'd say, entrance exams to college in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. So we have a HOPE program. It's the college program. And so just to break that mentality, at least that I had, that kids are just housed and then they, go on and they're kind of repeating that cycle of poverty. They're going on and they're studying accounting and medicine. Some are becoming orthopedic surgeons, actuarial science. Some are entering the religious life. So hospitality, but really trying to to do what they love and excel and break the cycle of poverty. And that is, we're really proud of that.
Yes.
To be able to have kids. So in November, one family from E-Town, who is a child sponsor, they've sponsored this little girl for her whole life, and now she just finished the Hope program, and she's coming to visit, and she'll be coming around to different places in E-Town and speaking with some of our donors. And it's like, wow, like this is the difference that you're making.
That's really neat. And it's probably very neat to see Brittany's Hope leading that charge. Now, you guys do a lot of cool events as well. You were back with us in June, I believe, and you had a Biking for Brittany event. How did that go?
It was fantastic. Actually, at 8:30 this morning, I'm going to our Biking for Brittany 25 meeting.
Wow.
So really exciting. But yeah, last year was so good. We had a brand new committee, and they were able to build on the work that we have done before. Molly Stager and Jamie Clinton were the co-chairs. Did a fantastic job. We had a record number of people, over 300 people, and we have a metric century and a metric half century, which is 64 miles, 32 miles, and it goes through Hershey. E-Town starts at the Star Barn. So E-Town, Hershey, Mountjoy, Marietta. It's just really a beautiful ride.
Wow.
And then we were able to have a big after party in the Star Barn, which was really fantastic.
That is a lot of fun.
It really
you got
is.
a few events coming up. Exactly a month from today is Extra Give. Tell us a little bit about that.
Correct. It is exactly a month.
That's crazy.
So thank you for that. It's a great way to support organizations, and there's so many wonderful organizations in Lancaster, but it's 24 hours of giving. And minimum donation is $10, and you can just do so much when the community gets together. And it really, when you look at that, I don't know, I hate to say, like the minimal entry that you can do and really make a difference in someone's life, it's fantastic when everyone works together.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then the headline event, Christmas at the Star Barn. You had mentioned how fun the Star Barn can be. That's happening Saturday, December 7th. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So that includes breakfast with Santa, professional photography, pony rides, crafts, a DJ, dance party. It is a great event. It's beautiful. The Star Barn is donated to us. We can't thank them enough. Food for Thought Catering, Manheim Central's Interact Club comes in full force, ready to go to support a lot of volunteers. The DJs donated. The princesses that are coming are all donating their time. It is overwhelming when you look, because then all of the funds raised goes directly to support the kids that we serve. And it can't be a better way to start the Christmas season. And big note, if you want to go, get your tickets today. So we're really selling out quickly because it's such a great event and people are so familiar with it. So get online, go to brittany'shope.org today.
Yeah, which is great news, but if you want to go, you need to get those today. If folks want to learn more about what you do, about Extra Give, or about Christmas at the Star Barn and where to get tickets, where can they visit you online?
brittany'shope.org.
Okay, that's the place to go?
Yep, that is the place to go.
brittany'shope.org, that's one word. Dana, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Love being here.